In less than 24 hours, Bashar Al Assad vanished. Presidential palaces were abandoned. Guards disappeared. All orders ceased. Where was he in those final moments? How did he leave without even his inner circle knowing? And where did his brother Maher go as the regime collapsed? Everything fell apart. Suddenly, but the escape, it had been carefully planned in silence. In the early hours of Sunday, December 8, 2024, Assad remained inside the presidential palace in Damascus. Despite rebel forces closing in on the capital, he insisted he was still in control. Just the night before, he held an emergency meeting with roughly 30 senior military and intelligence officials. He reassured them Russian support was on the way. In reality, however, Assad had already begun his secret exit strategy. That Saturday night, he told his chief of staff he was heading home. Instead, he quietly moved toward the Russian Hmeimim air base. He also called his advisor, Butena Shaban, asking her to help draft a speech. But when she arrived, the house was empty. Nadim Houri, director of the Arab Reform Initiative, said it plainly. Assad didn't even fight his last battle. He left his loyalists behind to face their fate alone. As Damascus disintegrated into chaos, Assad slipped out of the city. Communications with top figures like his wife Asma and elite guards went dark. Two main theories emerged about how he got to Hmeimim. Version 1, he left in a bulletproof Russian vehicle accompanied by his son. The car picked him up discreetly and transported him to the coast under heavy protection. Russian military convoys, marked clearly with their flag, were effectively immune to attack, making that route the safest. Version 2, Assad drove to Damascus International Airport via the Southern Ring Road, escorted by a heavily armed convoy. Some reports claim the 4th Division secured the route. Others say Russian troops took charge. From the airport, he boarded a special Iranian aircraft bound for Latakia. On board were former Minister Mansour Azam, his 2 sons, and his chief of security, General Mohsen Mohammed. Not a single senior military or political figure joined, a clear sign of how sensitive and risky the mission was. Upon arrival at Hmeimim, Assad found the Syrian army had effectively collapsed. Damascus was lost. Even the base itself was under drone attack. Tension among the Russian command spiked. Around the same time, Maher Al Assad, his brother and commander of the 4th Division, escaped Damascus with members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. He reportedly reached northeast Syria, then flew by helicopter to Iraq and from there to Russia. The Iraqi government denied any involvement, but sources say Maher fled without coordination, creating a sudden leadership vacuum. Meanwhile, Assad's cousins, Ahab and Ayad Makhlouf, attempted to flee by car toward Lebanon. They were ambushed. Ahab was killed. Ayad survived, but was critically wounded. In the final days, Assad desperately sought international backing. He visited Moscow on November 28th, just after the surprise attack on Aleppo, but received no guarantees of military support. He returned to Damascus and falsely reassured his generals that help was coming, just to buy time. On December 2nd, he met Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Exhausted, he admitted his forces were breaking, yet he didn't request direct military intervention, fearing that Israel would use it as a pretext to strike Iran's assets inside Syria or beyond. 3 of his aides confirmed. Assad first sought asylum in the UAE, but was rejected. Abu Dhabi feared the backlash, especially under U.S. and European sanctions. Though Russia declined military escalation, they were determined not to let Assad fall into rebel hands. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov led secret negotiations with Turkey and Qatar to secure a safe corridor for Assad through territory controlled by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS. Despite official denials, on-the-ground coordination made it possible. At the same time, Russia coordinated with neighboring countries to ensure their aircraft could exit Syrian airspace without interference or interception. By Sunday night, December 8th, Assad's military jet took off from Amamim toward Moscow. His wife, Asma, and children had already arrived in the Russian capital through secret arrangements days earlier. That same night, rebel fighters entered the presidential residence. Videos showed food still on the stove, family photo albums left behind. The scene suggested a rushed, unplanned escape. In his final call at 10:30 p.m. Saturday, Prime Minister Mohammad Jalali warned him about the crumbling situation. Assad's last recorded words were, "We'll see tomorrow." He was never seen in Syria again. Later that night, Assad's plane landed in Moscow. Russia granted him political asylum. In a brief statement, Assad denied fleeing, claiming he was prepared to fight until the end. But the truth told a different story. In a single night, a dictatorship that ruled for over half a century crumbled. Bashar Al Assad slipped quietly through the back door of history. No final speech, no farewell, no resistance. His brother Maher vanished along back roads, his fate debated between Baghdad and Moscow. Since December 8, 2024, Syria has never been the same. The palaces remain, but the rituals ended. The country woke up to a new reality, a Syria without Assad.